All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and yes, you heard it right. I quit my third-party contract. So many of you guys know I was working with a kind of mom and pop shop. They sell appliances, and been with them for almost a year. And I was very excited to work with this company. That's my ultimate goal, trying to work directly with a company and cut out the middleman. My profits shot way up. My profits went up 100% by doing that. So obviously, you guys know I do a lot of dolly orders, and I pick up for Best Buy, and dolly takes a huge portion of the profits, huge portion. So for example, if I do a refrigerator, I might get paid like $68 when the customer paid $120. And you know, I only get 68 of it, and dolly keeps the rest. Obviously, when I'm doing a delivery directly with a client, I charge $100, I get $100. So anyways, that's what this video is about. It's not bad news though. So I know some people, especially my haters, probably love the title of this video, and they're excited to see failure, right? People love to see failure, but this is actually not a failure. This is a good thing, and I'm gonna explain why. So anyways, I'm headed to a direct booking, which is my favorite, right? That's what you should be trying to do every day. Headed to a direct booking. I'm stuck in traffic right now, but I should be at the customer's house on time. I'm supposed to be there at 7:30. So yeah, traffic's pretty heavy, but I think it clears up after this. So I'm doing a direct booking. It's a labor only job. This is a 5-time returning customer. This person always needs help, and I told you guys that. I told you customers will come back 2 to 3 times a year, and sometimes more. So this is a regular customer, and we're just gonna help move some furniture around. I think we're moving like 3 beds, a desk, and a heavy dresser into the garage. That's it. I do have a 2-hour minimum on this job, so if there is any other work to be done, we'll do it, but we're just there to do that. I think it's gonna take probably about an hour, maybe a little less, I'm not sure. So anyways, that's what we're about to do. I'm not gonna show much of it because that's not what this video is about. I'll just kind of highlight what I'm about to do, knock it out, and then I have one more gig app job after that, and then we'll get into what the video is about. All right, guys, just made it through the security gate, and I've been here so many times, I'm already on the list. They already have my company and everything on there. So anyways, I gotta work fast because I'm kind of in a hurry. I have a expedite catering order that I need to do, so I need to finish this job early enough so that I'm not late. So we got about 2 hours to work. I don't think it's gonna take that long, but I'm not gonna be busy trying to record and stuff. So I'm just gonna document what I'm doing so you guys can see, and then we're just gonna knock it out. It'll be a really easy job. So my helper is none other than Rosnell. You guys know Rosnell is my go-to guy. Very reliable, trustworthy, great worker, great morals, ethics, all that. Hard worker, doesn't mind labor, not a complainer. Just, that's the perfect guy. There's a Rosnell in every market, so you gotta find them. You gotta find the Rosnell in your market and link up with them, because they are a gold mine. They can help you on jobs that you need help on. Let me get set up, and then I'll show you guys what we're about to do. All right, so this mattress, these 2 mattresses are going into a bedroom next door. This bed frame, both bed frames. Both bed frames are going into the garage. So bed frames in the garage, these 2 mattresses in the room next door. This desk is going into the other room. Let me show you. So the room's right here, right next door. So this whole entire bed is going in that other room, and then this is going into the garage. It's pretty heavy, but this comes off, this marble top. So we might use a shoulder dolly for this. And that's pretty much it. So pretty simple job, should take less than an hour. All right, so we just moved the 2 twin bed frames. The trundle bed, we moved it into the garage. That's it right there, it's just the frame. and this dresser. We took the marble top off because I made it heavier, and we carried it with the shoulder dolly. So got it in the garage. So all we gotta do is move the king bed, and that's it. Okay, just got the king bed together with the headboard. This is the other room. We just switched the beds out. So I got that put together. We move that desk that was right there. Just move it right down the hall right here. So got that bed. That was the bed that's in there. Was right here. The 2 mattresses, and then the frames are in the garage. That's it. All right, y'all, all done. I got about an hour and a half. So that job took exactly 1 hour. We even offered to take down her Christmas tree. So we took down the Christmas tree, put it back in the box. I didn't get a photo of it when it was set up, but it's just 3 parts. And then we put it in the garage for her. So she didn't have anything else for us. We finished in 1 hour. We charge $50 an hour per helper, per hour, and it's a 2-hour minimum. So I'll explain. I'm gonna do a video on 2-hour minimums. I already did a video on it where I think some taskers overcharge their customer. I'm gonna explain why some jobs I do a 2-hour minimum and some jobs I don't. So anyways, I'm about to go kill some time, probably go eat or something, and then I'm gonna do my gig app order, and then I'll get into what the video's about. So my pay was, I charged $100. She gave me $125, so $25 tip. While Snell got 120. He was supposed to get 100. So very easy work. That is a job I could have did with my wife, but she was tied up. She had to drop the kids off at school, and the job, I had to start the job really early because of this other job. So it's always good to know people. I told you guys about working with other drivers in your market. This is why I was able to still do the job, because I had help. And it got them some work and some money. So it's a win-win for everyone. All right, guys, I killed some time, and I am here at the pickup. This expedite order, catering order, and they're not open yet. They open at what time they open? They open at 10:30. It's about almost 10:15 right now, so should have no issues picking up right here from Rudy's barbecue place. Alrighty. All right, guys, this is the order. Just these 4 boxes and 2 bags of ice. That's it. So that will fit perfect on my hand cart. I just picked up from this takeaway or takeout window. So the delivery time is 10:45 to 11. My ETA is 10:35, so I'll be 10 minutes early. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get there early, but I'm not going to swipe that I arrived until 10:45. Okay, so you could do that. You can get there early because they ask for a full setup. So I have to set all this up. All right. So anyways, it's good that we're early. It's good that everything was ready. And I'm going to get there about 10 minutes early. All right, guys, we're here. You guys have seen this building many times. So I've been here, I don't know how many times. So I'm just going to knock this delivery out real quick. I'll take a photo what it looks like when I'm done. And that'll be it. So we're going to the 2nd floor of this building right here. All right, y'all, just finished that delivery. This is what the setup looked like. So very easy. One of the nurses helped me set up, and most of the time they will. So I'm done. I am done for the day. Like, I'm going home. My day started at 7:30, which I made $125 for a job that took less than an hour. And then I had to kill some time. So I killed about an hour and a half time. I did some shopping, not shopping, but window shopping. And then got something to eat. And did this job, which started at, pickup was 10:23, delivery by 10:45 to 11. It is 10:55 right now. Hopefully that focuses, but it's 10:55, not even 11 o'clock, and I'm going home, so I'm done. My goal is 220. This is what I made. This job paid $110, another $100 tip, okay? I get access to these every day. So a lot of you would be like, well, why stop working? Why not keep working and make more money? I have a strategy and I stick to it. There's a reason why. So 220, once I hit 220 or more, I'm done. I go home because I have things to do. So go in more detail on that on a different video, but I just want you to know it's not about laziness or anything like that. I have a goal. Once I reach my goal, I'm going to profit. I've already done the math, so I don't need to keep working. All right, so I'm about to go home, enjoy a little bit of free time, and then get back to work. Got a lot of work to do. So anyways, I'll explain on a different video. So now let's get into what this video is about. Why I quit my third-party contract. So I'm not gonna give you a ton of details because this just happened. I literally quit yesterday. So anyways, I'm gonna make a very long story short. I may give more details later, but I'm just gonna give you kind of the main reasons why I walked away. So a third-party contract is the ultimate goal. That is a perfect opportunity for you to do like the same work I do on Dolly with Best Buy without the middleman, right? So this company, I kind of explained this already, but just briefly, I had a customer, a returning customer that purchased an item from this store. Okay, this is an appliance store. I picked up from that store, and the ironic thing is that the store had a delivery driver. It was a married couple, husband and wife, that did deliveries for her. They moved, they just moved out of state. And so she was actively looking for a third-party delivery, right? A delivery system. So it was perfect timing, right? I was picking up for the customer and we started talking, and I realized, she needed help. And I'm like, well, that's what I do. I could do, refrigerators, washers, dryers, all that stuff. So that's how it started, okay? So just a couple weeks later, she finally used me. She reached out to me, had a customer that needed help, and I documented that job. I did a video on it. It was my very first third-party contract delivery. Now, when you first start, so you're filling each other out when you first start. I don't know how she operates. She don't know how I operate. And, everyone runs business different. Everyone thinks different. So I know it can't be perfect. We're not going to be on the same page about everything, but, you have to be reasonable with each other, right? So here's the thing. I'm very professional and I want to do things the right way. I don't like to skip corners. She's had her business. That's her expertise. She sells appliances and mattresses and furniture. I don't. Okay, I'm a delivery driver. That's my expertise. I do the deliveries. So this is how it went, and I'm making a real long story short. I presented the idea when I first started working with her. I said, we need a contract. We need something in writing so that we agree, right? We need some type of contract agreement. We need something in writing where we know each other's roles, okay? That's very important, and I feel like you can't really run a professional business without that when you have a partnership. So she was against that. She didn't really want to do a written contract. It started off kind of verbal. Basically, she wanted it separate. She wanted, I make the sale. Once I sell it, if I recommend you and the customer uses you, everything's on you. You do the delivery however you want. You charge whatever you want. You handle the delivery. I'm just here for the sale. She wanted to keep it separate. And I understand that, but that doesn't really work. Because, and I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna tell you why. That doesn't really work. And so I told her we need to have an agreement. We need to decide how we're gonna handle different situations, because every delivery is not gonna be perfect. So we need to have a game plan. And she's kind of like, just go with the flow. We'll handle it. We'll cross that bridge when we get there type person, kind of nonchalant about everything. And I honestly don't like that. Can I work with that? Yes. I still did jobs. I still work with her. But of course, we ran into some difficulties, right? And this is the thing. So she is a person that it's kind of hard to negotiate or reason with her. She likes to run things the way she does, and I understand that. That's the friction that you're going to have when you have two business owners working together. You kind of have to be able to work together and not be like real strong-headed. So that was an issue, but I could work with that. Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm trying to do a written contract, an actual written contract. I have a written contract. I signed it. I presented it to her, and she never signed it. She never would sign. I keep asking her, can you sign the contract? Can you sign the contract? And what the contract consists of, and I got it online. All you're gonna look for, you can literally Google it. You're gonna look for a contract agreement between two business owners. That's what you're gonna Google. And you're gonna see a lot of templates. So I kind of use that. I just changed the verbiage. And I'm not gonna go in details of it because it's gonna take too long. I'll probably do it on a different video, but it basically kind of laid out what the partnership is, what our roles are, how we're going to handle certain situations, all that stuff, how we handle payments, everything, right? It's kind of a breakdown. It's only like one page, 1 or 2 pages. She would never sign it. I keep asking her, can you sign it? Can you sign it? And she kept pushing off. And I realized she just doesn't want to sign it. So that was an issue, okay? She's not willing to sign a contract agreement. I think that is very, very important. Like, especially if it comes to like a lawsuit or something where a customer is trying to sue both of us or one of us, we don't have any agreement. It's just a verbal agreement. That's not going to work. So, let me just give you an example of the issues I had and why I walked away from this company and why it was a good thing. So again, it's great because I did jobs where I deliver a refrigerator for $100. I deliver a refrigerator for $125 if I install it. If it's a drop-off only, it's $100. If it's install, it's $25. So $125. Making way more money than I would on Dolly, right? Doing washing and dryers for $110. If I do the job yesterday that I quit on, I was gonna make $200. I was delivering a washer and dryer, which is $110, and then a refrigerator for $100. So I was gonna make $210 to be exact. And I walked away from it. Okay, I'm not gonna explain what happened, but I'll get to it on a different video. I don't have time. I'm just trying to give you kind of the basis of why I walked away. So here's some examples of issues. And I actually showed this. I think it was a short that I showed you guys where I went to pick up a washer and dryer and they gave me the wrong item. They gave me 2 washers. It was in a box. And I didn't know that it was 2 washers. I just assumed it was a washer and dryer. And I was thinking maybe they just used that box to cover it. So I get to the customer's house and I unbox them and they're 2 washers. And now I'm in limbo because now I'm like, okay, we don't have an agreement. We don't have an understanding of how we're gonna handle this situation. So you guys gave me 2 washers, okay? You obviously gave me the wrong product, right? And I usually ask, is this the right stuff? All that stuff. Yeah, that's it, okay. So now I have to deal with the customer. The customer is like, well, where's my dryer? And I'm like, well, I can't really charge the customer to go back, right? If I have to do a return trip, go back and get the dryer, the correct product and switch it out, that money has to come from somewhere. Somebody's got to pay me for that. I'm not gonna do all that for the same price. So that's when I'm reaching out to her. I'm like, hey, look, you guys gave me the wrong stuff. I'm gonna have to add an extra 30, 40 bucks on this. Like, you know, that's just business, right? That wasn't my mistake. That wasn't the customer's mistake. And those are the friction that we had. Like, she don't want to come out of pocket because it's cutting into her profits. Again, we don't have an agreement. We don't have anything to show like how we're going to handle those situations. I had suggestions, which again, I'll share on a different video. I had suggestions of how to handle those type of situations. So I'm in limbo. So long story short, I ended up leaving the washer, one of the washers, and I kept the other one. And I did not bring it back because she didn't pay me to bring it back. So I'm like, well, I'm not coming back with it until I have to go back to your store for another job. So I ended up keeping that washer for like 1 or 2 days. Then I had another job, and that's when I brought it back. So that way I wasn't wasting gas and not getting paid. So she ended up taking she has a pickup truck. She ended up taking the dryer later on that day and delivering it. I told her, let me just leave the other washer. If you're coming here to drop off the dryer, why not just pick up the washer? No, take it. Stuff like that. It doesn't make sense, but that's how she wanted to do it. I'm not gonna argue with her. So the other incident was, there was one where I delivered a mattress and the mattress is already covered. It's in a plastic bag when I pick it up. And I put it in a mattress cover so it's easy to carry. And I don't do like a thorough inspection of it, right? Because it's already in a plastic bag. I'm assuming, you know, it's new or unused. And I delivered it, and after we cut the we didn't cut it with a razor blade or nothing. We tore it because it's perforated. So we tear the plastic off and we delivered the bed, and the customer's like, hey, there's a tear on the side of the mattress. And I look at it and I'm like, I didn't do that. And there's no way we could have cut it because we didn't use a blade to cut the plastic. And I'm like, there's no way it was in a mattress cover. There's no way I could have damaged it. So obviously I'm thinking either it came like that or something happened in a warehouse. I don't know. So again, this is an issue. So I have to reach out to the owner. I'm like, hey, this mattress has a tear in it. What are we gonna do? There's no plan. You know, if the customer refused it, I need to get paid to bring it back. And that's not the customer's fault. I can't charge the customer. Like, that's the issues we're having. And I'm just like, well, we can't have these issues. Like, I can't be stuck in limbo with customers like this. We need to have a game plan. That's why I'm telling you, I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to like come up with a game plan, and she's never willing to do that. She never wants to have a contract. She never wants to come up with a game plan on how to handle complaints. The last one, because I don't want this to be too long. The last one, there's a couple others, but this is another big one. When I book a job and I send the customer a booking confirmation, I tell the customer, I am not responsible for any damage, and I cannot guarantee that the product's gonna work. I don't test it or anything like that. They buy it as is. I deliver it as is. That's in writing, okay? I delivered a dryer, and I'm sorry, somebody's alarm going off. I delivered a dryer, and I installed it, and it was not working, okay? And I tried everything. Now here's the thing, sometimes I have to hook up the power cord, but this one, the power cord was already hooked up. So I spent extra time, make sure that it was hooked up right. I took the plate off, I double checked it was a 3-prong cord. I made sure it was connected properly, right? Like the ground wire, everything was correct. Everything was proper. Everything was hooked up properly. I even tripped the circuit breaker just to make sure it's not the plug. So I'm thinking, okay, either this plug is bad or this dryer just doesn't work. It's one or the other. And I spent extra time. I spent like an extra 30 minutes trying to get this thing to work. So in that situation, this customer was supposed to pay me $110 for the delivery and installation. The customer doesn't want to pay now because it doesn't work. And that's not my problem, right? I can't guarantee that they're going to work. So if the customer tests the product at the store, which I don't think they do, you know, they should do that, but I don't think they do. They're buying it as is. So I'm like, okay, this is another problem. If I deliver it and it doesn't work and the customer doesn't want it, what are we going to do? I still got to get paid. I'm going to get paid regardless. You're going to pay me my $110 and you're going to have to work out something with the customer, some type of exchange, or I don't know. And so that was another issue. That's a big issue where I'm in the customer's house. The customer doesn't want to pay. And I'm trying to explain, I'm a third party. I have nothing to do with this product. I can't control if it works or not. You bought the product, you need to work that out with the owner, but you need to pay me my $110. Like, that's the situations I'm stuck in. And so I can't do business like that. And so that was kind of like one of the last straws. I kind of told her, like, if we're not gonna like work together, if we're not gonna sign a contract and actually work together like professionally, I can't do this. I can't, and it ruins my reputation too. Like, my business name gets tarnished in situations like that because the customer thinks that, you know, most customers think I work for her. I don't work for her. I'm telling her I'm just contracted to do this delivery. Totally separate business. So anyways, I hope you guys get the idea. I'm trying to stay under 15 minutes, right around 15 minutes. So I will give more details, but I'm gonna end with this. This was not a bad thing. This was a good experience for me because I told you guys, experience is your best teacher. It's your best teacher. And anyone out there that criticizes someone that makes mistakes or does something wrong in this business is an idiot, because everyone learns through experience. If you do a bad job, okay, that doesn't mean quit and don't do it. That means learn from that experience, okay? Everyone does that. Even the people that teach that, even people that teach you how to do the business, they had a start date. They had a time where they did a bad job or they broke something and they learned from that experience. So to act like I can't learn from experience is stupid to me, all right? So this was a great experience. This is why I say this is a good thing. This was my very first third-party contract. And I've never had instruction of how to do it or anything, but I did my own research, and I know that you absolutely have to have a contract agreement. I will not do any type of deliveries for a company without a third-party contract. Like, you gotta have an actual written contract between the two. You also have to have a game plan. You have to decide before, not when it happens, but beforehand, how are we gonna handle complaints? How are we gonna handle damage? How are we gonna handle things that don't work? Like, what's the game plan? Like, how am I gonna get paid if it doesn't work? If I need to return something, how am I gonna get paid? Like, you have to work that out beforehand. And this is why I enjoyed this experience, because again, every owner is different. Everyone works different, okay? And can I be flexible? Can I work with someone like that? Yes, but only to a certain extent. So I don't need her as bad as she needs me. And I don't think she realized that. I don't think she realized what she had. And so sometimes you have to teach them. You have to let them know you're not going to treat me however you want. You're not going to, you know, work like in a way like unappreciative. Like, I need you to appreciate what I'm doing for you. So anyways, I'm just going to kind of end at that. This was a great learning experience. I told you I never stopped looking for contract opportunities. There's plenty of them out there. I know I will find someone better, but I learn. I know what to do and what not to do, and who to work with and who not to work with. There's a lot of red flags that you'll have at the very beginning. That's why I'm sharing this. I'm sharing my experience. So I'm not money hungry. I don't need her. I don't have to have her to get work. I know how to get work. So that's the thing. I'm able to walk away. I'm able to walk away from that opportunity because again, being professional and running a professional business is more important than making a, you know, delivering something and make 200 bucks. But you know, there's so many risk and liability that you're dealing with. It's not worth it to me. So I'm definitely hoping that God will lead me to someone else. I'm sure he will. And again, I'm sharing this for your experience, to help you as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm gonna tell you for now. Again, I'll share more information on a different video. But no longer working with a third-party contract. I call it third-party contract. It was a contract agreement, but it was verbal. Never could get her to actually sign it. So I'm not hurting in any way. It does suck because I did enjoy doing those jobs and it was a great opportunity. But again, my business and reputation is more important than, you know, doing those jobs. So there's plenty of opportunities out there. I will find another one. Hope y'all enjoy. Y'all have a good one, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Hold up, I almost forgot. I gotta share this one. This was one of my biggest pet peeves, and this is the unprofessionalism I'm talking about. So I can't leave this out. One of the things I hated the most was that I would give her a time. I would tell her, okay, so if the store opens at 11, a lot of times she'll ask me like the day before, hey, can you do it tomorrow? And I'll move stuff around and I'll schedule it when I can. I'll say I could be there by 12:30, but like I have other jobs. So like time is like important. So I would say, I'll be there at 12:30. A lot of times she's never at the store. So a lot of times like a customer has to call and then she'll go to the store and open it up. So during regular business hours, a lot of times the door is locked. I can't tell you how many times I get there at 12:30 when I said, and nobody's there. And then I'll call her and I'm like, where you at? Like I need to get in. Oh, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I forgot, or something like that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves because like I said, again, I'm already bending over backwards. I'm adjusting my schedule, adjusting other customers, moving them around so that I can please your customer. And then you can't even be there on time. I have to wait 20 minutes. And it was so many times I wanted to just cancel it because of that. So that was another big issue. Again, she kind of had the nonchalant, you know, didn't really understand why that's important to be there and have it open when I get there. That was a big problem. Again, it's separate, right? I booked the job. Once the customer reaches out to me, I book the job. So everything's on me after that. I would tell the customer, okay, I'm gonna pick it up at 12:30. I'm gonna deliver it between 1 and 3, right? I'll give them like a 2-hour window, okay? And I had to do that because, you know, a lot of times I have other customers. So she would tell the customer a different time. She would tell the customer, oh, he'll deliver it at 12:30. So the customer, it was a couple times where the customer was waiting on me, and I'm like, didn't you read my email? I told you I'll be there between, you know, 1 and 3 or 2 and whatever. And again, that caused another issue because I told her, when I book these jobs, let me CC you, let me email you as well so you could see the time. She never wanted it. She didn't want to be part of the email. She's like, nope, just keep it separate. I don't want no part of the delivery. That's not how you run it. That's not how you do it. And so she's telling customers one thing and I'm saying something else. And a lot of the customers don't read the email. When I book the job and I send them an email, they never read it. So they're just trusting what she says. And there's been times where the customer's waiting on me or vice versa. I'm waiting on the customer. I'm like, I sent you a booking confirmation. I said I'll be at your house. I'm on my way. ETA is 1:30, right? And I get there and they're like, oh, she said you'll be there at 3. I'm not home right now. I'll be there in like 30 minutes. That's the stuff I'm talking about. That was a huge pet peeve of mine. And it's just one of the, it was just snowball effect. It was getting worse and worse and worse to the point where I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. I can't work like that. So didn't want to leave that out. Now, I'll catch y'all on the next one.